Back in 2018, I started my first serious business before entrepreneurship was as popular as it is today. But there's a lot of things that I've learned from running that business, from the mistakes that I made operating that business. One of the biggest mistakes that I've learned through running that business is just how important capital is. And hear me out, because I'm sure you're probably thinking, how didn't you know capital was important? But you don't understand just how important capital is to a business until you operate that business. A lot of people don't know that you need an initial investment whenever starting your business. For example, a lot of people want to be YouTubers and they want to make their YouTube channel a business. Well, in order to do so, you would want to have a decent camera, you would want to have a decent lens, you want to have a decent light, you want to have a decent mic, all the stuff, all the bells and whistles that everybody talk about in those videos. Well, those are initial investments before you actually start your channel. Now, do you need the best of the best? Absolutely not. Some people would suggest you use your phone, but your phone is still an initial investment, whether it was for your YouTube channel or not, because now you're using it for business use. Every business has an initial investment involved, no matter what business you start. And once you get the initial investment out of the way, then you have to worry about marketing within your business. And I would say marketing is probably one of the most expensive parts of running a business. And that's just the part you're just not taught. You think that because you are you and you are a likable person, that once you put whatever you put out, a lot of people will flock to it, but that's not how it works. In order to get people to notice your product or whatever you're putting out there for sale, or if you're putting out certain content, in order for people to come to it or notice it, you have to market that product or whatever you're putting out, that video. You have to market it or put it in the right place or make it very clickable to an individual that doesn't care about the individual in the video. So you have to make it marketable. And basically, in order to make something marketable, that does typically cost money in some way or form. But I did not make this video to talk about the things that you would be spending money on when you start your business, but the things you should be doing for capital, or the things you should have access to for capital whenever you do start your business, because you are going to need capital. And this is the unpopular opinion, but a lot of people don't like to talk about this. But if you're going to start your business, you should probably make a decent amount at your 9 to 5. That's the first way of making capital to keep your business afloat. Because when you first start your business, clearly it's not going to make money because it does not have customers. But like I said before, you still have to spend money on marketing. And if the business is not making any money, it does not have any money to put into marketing. So someone has to be making some sort of income in order to put the money back into the business. And this is something that people just don't think about when they start their business, because they're so ready to just go all in, because they tell themselves, okay, in order to get the business to where I need it to be, I have to give it all my focus. But that's not true. So before you actually start your business, make sure you make a decent amount at a 9 to 5 or some form of work where you make a decent amount of money. So when your business need that capital, you can put it in. And that's the first way that I would recommend you make capital for your business, so you could put it back into the business whenever it is struggling for capital. The second way that you can keep capital within your business is just having family members and friends that actually support what you're doing and that have a decent amount of revenue to put into the business, which is the easiest way. And there are some people in a good position that have family members that can help them with their business and actually believe in their business. For example, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, his mother and I believe stepfather put in $300,000 into Amazon when he first started, which if you have people in your life that can actually put that much money into your business, that's great. Use your resources. A lot of people would see it like, oh, you didn't really do it from scratch if somebody put so much money in, but don't be a fool and let that get to you. Use all your resources that you have and don't let anybody get to you when you're trying to build your business, because a lot of people will. I wasn't in a fortunate enough position to have somebody be able to give me $300,000, but I definitely had help along the way of trying to build the businesses that I built. So don't ever be too prideful to accept something from somebody that's truly trying to help you because they truly believe in you. So the second way is definitely a good way if you're in that position, but not everybody's in that position to be handed money. So if you're not in that position, there is another way, and that's the third way to keep capital within your business. The third way of keeping capital within your business without your business is my least favorite way, because it does require majority of the time giving up equity within the business, so you won't be 100% owner, but you can go out and get investors. But if you want to stay the 100% owner of your business, then you can go to the bank and see if you're accepted for a business loan, which can keep capital within the business, which is also another good way. So typically I would not suggest going to investors, especially with a small business, but sometimes you have to in order to keep your business afloat. But if you are going to go to investors, be prepared for them to want equity for the money that they give you to keep the business afloat. But that is still a good sign, because sometimes the investors within a business can actually help the business. They could be good resources for the business to continue to grow. And honestly, that is the best type of investor, someone that actually understands the business that they're investing in. And typically that is the case, because if I was to invest in a business, I would want to understand it at some degree. Outside of that, I would try to bootstrap it as much as possible. And of course, you could take that option, put your own money into your business. And plus, I also feel like that makes you work a little harder. When you feel the pain of the work that you put in and the money that you make put right back into the business, and you didn't make a dime from all the work that you put in because you put it back into the business, it'll make you hustle a little harder. So for me personally, I will always suggest number one, simply because you have full equity in your business. But personally, running a business is extremely difficult, and you're going to need help along the way. So don't try to do it yourself. If you got resources, use them, like I said. But a lot of people be way too prideful, especially nowadays with everything on social media. But you can't let that get to you when you're running a business, because it's probably the hardest thing I ever done in my life. And clearly, as you can see, I'm still working on it. So don't let it get to you too much, and just keep doing what you're doing. And eventually, if you're very consistent and actually learning and actually growing and trying to figure out what you did wrong, you should get to the other side. But with that being said, I'll see y'all on the next one.